Howdy readers, I'm Jason and this is Chapter and Verse. It's a Sunday evening and yeah, it's still quite light outside, but I thought I would do a tag. This is the Small Booktuber Tag, and I was tagged by my friend Robert over at Barter Hordes. And yeah, Robert is one of the two or three people on Booktube since I've been on, with whom I've become proper friends, I would say. The original tag was from, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Die Kitty Reads. I will link to both of their videos in the description box below the video of mine. So, let's get right to this. Number one, introduce yourself. So my name is Jason Cooper. I live in Wyoming and have lived in Wyoming most of my life. Went to graduate school in Montana. Yeah, I work in advertising. I work in radio, more specifically. But I have been many things in my life. I have been a college English teacher. I have been a bookseller. I even for 3 hours once worked as a janitor, cleaning the game and fish department building in Cheyenne, and that was in my early 20s. And yeah, like I said, it didn't last long. Question 2: how long have you been on Booktube? Well, I never knew about Booktube before like 3 months or 3.5 months ago. I had never heard of it, had never come across any videos from it. It boggles my mind that it's been around for as long as it has. But I have been watching it. I got my notes right here. I've been watching it for about 3 months. I have had my channel in existence for about 6 weeks. So I was commenting on other people's videos from my channel before I actually posted any original content of my own. And I've been doing that, making and posting videos for about 4 weeks now. So, wish I had been on here a lot longer, but everything has to have a beginning, right? 3, what types of videos do you make? So I make little brief 2 shelf tours. I just highlight in each video 2 shelves from our bookcases, and then 2 books from each of those shelves. Videos don't get a lot of views, but then it doesn't matter. They get a few, and people discover some books through them. So that's the important thing. I make tags. I actually love tags. Tags may have been the kind of video most responsible for me wanting to get on Booktube in the first place. I really love lists and I really love questionnaires. I actually put together the newsletter for my Rotary Club, and I introduced a Q&A in the newsletter each week. So there are 5 questions that I ask one of the Rotary members for the newsletter each week. So, and then I also make videos that I call commentaries. I think most booktubers call them discussion videos. So anyway, I have a couple of commentary videos that I did with my wife on the Pulitzer Prize. I have a couple of commentary videos on PBS's Great American Read Project. There'll be more about that to come here in just a minute or two. So it's just kind of me rambling on about this or that book-related thing. And then I've just started doing a wrap-up. Since I've only been on for a month, I've just done 1 monthly wrap-up. And that wrap-up featured just a single book that I read in the month, and a new film that I saw, and a musical that I saw. Most months, I'll be talking about 2 or 3 books. On rare occasions, I get 4 books read in a month, but that's very rare. In the fall, I'll be talking a lot more about films. But so those are the kinds of videos that I make. Question 4: what do you love about Booktube? A couple of things. Above all, I really love the camaraderie of it. As I said before, Robert and I from Barter Hordes have become friends. Jasmine from Jasmine's Reads and I have become friends. Mark from Words Everywhere and I have become friends. I feel like Mark Nash and I are maybe kind of becoming friends as well. So I love the camaraderie, but I also really love, and maybe not love so much, but appreciate about Booktube the fact that it encourages me to avoid being snarky, and I'm pretty given to snarkiness in real life, right, in actual lived day-to-day life as well as online on social media. And on Booktube, I try to really keep that at bay, because sometimes it just feels like it's a kind of souring of my soul a little bit. Snarkiness isn't something that that I'm terribly proud of, however good at it I can sometimes be. And for examples of that, if you're on Facebook, yeah, just have a scroll through the comments on PBS's Great American Read posts. I'm there aplenty. So the camaraderie and how Booktube discourages me being kind of snide or snarky. For the most part, there'll be moments that sneak their way into my videos. So, question 5: what types of books do you read? Mostly, I read literary fiction, but not exclusively. I read a little bit of science fiction. I read a little bit of nonfiction. I read a little bit of religion. I occasionally read a biography. My favorite writer of all time is Charles Dickens, and my favorite living writers would include Peter Carey, Marilyn Robinson, Cormac McCarthy, Tim Winton, Sarah Waters. Those are the biggies. All right, let me flip the page here. Question 6: what's your favorite video you've made? And that would be my attack on the Great American Read list from PBS. It was a couple of weeks ago. Felt really good making that video. Felt so good, in fact, that I imagined new versions of it every day for a few days after having made it. There was so much I wanted to say. But anyway, I'll leave a link to that video in the description box. And lastly, who do I tag? So the original video apparently wants us to tag 4 other small booktubers. So I went through my subscription list and found 4 small booktubers whose channels I really like and who, near as I can tell, haven't done this tag yet. So I tag Laura at Paperback Winter. She is charming. She's very real. She strikes a really nice balance as well between seriousness and whimsy, which I find refreshing. Sue at Sue Scribes. I believe she's an Irish booktuber. And she's also a fellow anti-audiobook booktuber. She and I, neither of us, go in for audiobooks for various reasons, but many of the same reasons. Nashwa at Nashwa Reads. I just discovered her channel. She and I have the, if you can see right up there, right? So those penguin postcards, all right, arranged into a work of art by my best friend's wife, Anna. Nashwa has many of those classic penguin postcards on her wall as well. And then lastly, Celia, who also I've just discovered recently. And she and I may be the only 2 people on Booktube who are very obvious and vocal champions or cheerleaders for the fiction of Sigrid Undset. So anyway, those are the booktubers I tag. I will be back later in the week with another tag and probably a 2-shelf tour. So until then, have a good week, everybody. I will see you soon.